promotions over there. So.
Hi, my name is Kat Ackerfeld. I'm the assistant curator here at Toronto's first post office, which is a post office and also a museum.
So how long is this first post office established?
Well, it was originally established in 1833, which is how we get away with calling ourselves Toronto's first post office, because we became the post office just before Toronto became a city. And then it stopped being the post office in 1839, but in the 1980s it was kind of rediscovered and opened again as a functioning post office, and at that time also a museum. So we've been around for longer now as a post office than we were in the first place.
And now it's also a museum.
Yes.
Is that the only museum, postal office museum? Or?
As far as I can tell, we are the only postal museum in Canada. There used to be one in Ottawa, but it's now part of the Canadian Museum of History. So they still have a gallery, and that's where all the Canada Post stamps and so on goes there. We look at the years before Canada had its own post office. So we're before 1851. So we're in the way back.
So people come here for normal posting, mailing, and also they can see the history of post office here.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff they can see in this museum?
Well, we are run by the Town of York Historical Society, so another reason why we're in the 1830s when we went from being the Town of York to the City of Toronto. So a lot of the things that we have on display are from that era. So we have quill pens and ink and sealing wax always available, just like when we were a post office originally. You can come into the reading room and use those things if you want to write some 1830s style mail. People also come in and use the room for their current mail to open and sort it out and throw half of it in the recycling before they go home again. But most of the furniture that we have on display, we have a notice board, are all things from the 1830s. We also have a model of the city in 1837, which is used a lot for tourists in the area to kind of figure out what the city looked like in those very early years.
How important are postal service to Canada or to Toronto?
In the 1830s? Or still today? Well, I'm a little biased, but in the 1830s it was essential. It was the only means of communicating over any kind of distance. Most of the mail back then actually didn't go through the post office, though. It went, you gave it to somebody who was going in the right direction, and that's... Exactly, yeah, that's how mail moved around. But it was still, writing something down on a piece of paper, and away it goes. Today, things have changed an awful lot. We're big fans of sending mail and cards and stuff through the post to be a nice surprise to somebody on the other end. But most of the things that come through the post office today are packages from Amazon or things that people have ordered online. So we do a lot of packages, not so much letter mail anymore, but still bills come. That'll never stop.
So do you have customer coming to pick up their memories instead of sending a mail?
Yeah, exactly. We also rent boxes here, so we have postal boxes. So we see even people who don't rent their boxes here. We see the same people over and over again. We're kind of a hub for the neighborhood. So people come in every day, to send something or to pick stuff up, and then we share the news. We chat a lot, and so we get to find out what's going on in the neighborhood and share some of that too. So I think in that way, today and the 1830s is very similar. Yeah.
I think that people really have some touching stories for the mail.
Oh yeah. I'm always asking people if I can share their stories and so on, because as you work behind the postal counter too, it's like being a pharmacist sometimes. You don't want to, you have a lot of secrets of people too that you hold a lot of trust.
And I know that there will be an exhibition happening in this office. Yeah. So what's that?
Yeah, so the special new exhibition of the artist Celine Chen. She works, we've been been selling her cards here for a little while, and they're very popular. So she is putting on an exhibit of her original art, and this is her stamp art. So she starts with a postal stamp in the middle of her piece, and then around that she creates all her the associations that she has with the subject of that stamp. And a lot of it involves food, which is amazing. She uses Canadian stamps, uses Chinese stamps. There's some that are from a whole other country as well. And she's also got some Christmas themed art as part of this exhibit too. And the nice thing is that every piece that's part of this exhibit, she's also selling. So as pieces sell, they're replaced with another piece as well in the exhibit. So the exhibit will keep on changing as time goes on.
Okay. Is this the first time you have a non-stamp exhibition inside an office? We've had changing exhibits in the past. This is our first art exhibit for a very long time. It's not the first, but I think it's the first since I've been here, and that's about 10 years now. So yeah. But we most of our exhibits here are history based. Yeah, so we have a collection of artifacts of writing equipment and so on, and so we'll do exhibits based on that, or some of the people who lived in the early town. But this is the first art exhibit that we've had in a long time. Yeah. And people come here to see the exhibit and also see the history of the post office.
Exactly. And we're free admission. We do have a donation box, but we're open 7 days a week, so people can come in whenever, and they can see the exhibit and the rest of the museum as well, and send a letter.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.